Hello and welcome back to our coverage of the PokerStars Championship in Sochi. Now we are behind the scenes where all the magic happens in the live reporting and blogging world. So I'm joined by PokerNews blogger Anthony Chada. And I actually just wanted to ask you a few questions because I'm reading the blog sometimes and look, I've got to admit, I don't understand all of the words and all the poker lingo. I'm not quite cool enough. So can you please run us through and explain a couple for me? So let's start with donk bet.
Basically, a donk bet refers to, say, you call a raise pre-flop and then decide to lead with a bet on the flop or the turn. Basically, you're stealing the betting lead from the person who made the original aggression, right. And so they call that a donk bet.
And they might not have a good hand. They get found out with a bad hand.
Well, I mean, donk bets can be disguised because sometimes, you'll just call a raise pre-flop just to float any of the streets and then just lead out on the next street, thinking, "Oh, I hit that card." Okay. Sometimes it really confuses your opponent.
I feel like I do that sometimes. Now, VIP player, talk to me about that.
I think VIP player is just a polite term to refer to someone that you can take advantage of. Like maybe they're a little bit fishy of a player, and you want them to feel good about themselves without turning them off or, making a rude comment like calling them a fish.
So if someone calls you a VIP player, it's probably not the best thing.
I will say I've never used that term for anyone.
I did hear that from a pro, so it's got to be used. Gap or gap bet?
I think gap bet just refers to a term Sklansky made where you can raise, on any street or pre-flop with a worst hand, thinking that someone has to call you with a better hand or an equally strength hand. Something like that.
Triple barrel.
Triple barrel usually happens on the river, and usually it makes... Well, basically, you've led on the flop, you've led on the turn, which is a double barrel, and then you've emptied the clip on the river. Usually it's a shove or just, usually they refer to like a triple barrel bluff.
Squeeze.
Squeezing is like, say, someone opened the pre-flop, and one person or maybe two people called, and then a third person or a fourth person later down the hand makes another raise, like a 3-bet or a 4-bet or something, squeezing the other people out of the pot.
I've had a few of those. Cold bet.
Cold bet just refers to someone who hasn't made any action yet, raising. So usually there would be like a cold 4-bet or a cold 5-bet or something where the under the gun player made a raise and another person also raised, and then it comes around to the person on the button and they don't have any action and they just make another raise.
Well, there you go. I feel like I could really hit the scene now and just know exactly what's going on in that poker world. So thank you very much, Anthony, for helping us out. I'm Nicki Pickering for PokerNews.com.